It's only last night that I saw a big mess here. Now it's like a Buddha hall. It's a lot of work that went into this. I really appreciate this. And it's huge. I didn't realize how big the altar is. And wait until the statues are ready, then you see.
Okay, we're ready, Master. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you. We're on the air, I see. Okay. So this is our last chant class, and then we start our sumachis for 4 weeks or so. So I don't know what to say, except that does anyone have any questions? Yes, go ahead, Tri.
Thank you, Master. There's a question regarding eating one meal a day. Emily said she tries to eat one meal a day, so the ghosts, they can eat. And I said, now there's abundance of food. Does it make a difference? Would you please explain to us?
About what?
She said she eats one meal a day. By doing so, she saves the food for the hungry ghosts to eat. So she shared the food.
Okay.
And I thought there abundance of food.
Okay.
And so if I eat 3 meals a day, do I still take away from other people's share, other beings' share?
Do you take what? Excuse me?
So if I eat 3 meals a day, does that mean other beings have less chance to eat?
Yes and no. The reason originally that we practice eating 1 meal a day is really for left home people. It's not for lay people at all. Lay people, if you eat 1 meal a day, you may get in trouble. You don't have enough nutrition, especially if you don't have enough chan skills, samadhi power. If you don't practice chan at all, by the way, your skills are not good enough. You need nutrition. You need to replenish your energy level so that you can function. So that's why it's better that you eat at least 2 meals a day. I would focus on breakfast and lunch and very light dinner. That's what I would do, if at all. I would not go with 3 meals, but I would go on the 3rd meal. Dinner is for socializing with family and friends and so forth. It's a good thing to do, but I would not do 1 meal a day as a lay person. Because unless you have some chan skills, you get sick. Okay, and so don't eat 1 meal a day if you're a lay person. However, if you're a left home person, eating 1 meal a day is better for you, because in our environment, especially in our systems of training, when you eat 1 meal a day, naturally you force your body to be very, very efficient and not waste energy. Because if you waste energy, you get hungry. Okay, and you can't function anymore. And so in our training, at first we get hungry, and then we learn to reduce our outflows. We don't get excited. We conserve our energy, so that it helps us build our concentration power a lot faster, a lot more effective in building our concentration. So that's the real reason why we practice one meal a day. And the other reason, of course, is the Buddha says it's out of compassion. We want to not eat after noon, because that's how the Buddhas have always done this. That's how they become Buddhas. And so eating one meal a day is preferable for us if you want to become a Buddha. And furthermore, in the afternoon, that's when you have a lot of other beings who eat, like goats and so forth. So it's not a good time for us to eat, because when we eat in the evening, afternoon, the hungry goats, they see us eat and they get very afflicted, and they will come and harass us and harm us. So that's why, again, one other reason why you want to try to concentrate on eating breakfast and lunch. Avoid eating dinner, for example, if possible, okay? Because you are creating a lot of afflictions to the hungry ghosts. They are everywhere, in your house, in a temple, everywhere. You're sharing space with them. So it's really advisable not to shorten your dinner time and minimize it. Now, as far as when we eat 3 meals a day, does it mean that the ghosts and have less to eat? No, not really, because the ghosts, the fate is that they're supposed to suffer, and even if we don't eat, they can't eat either, so it doesn't matter. The reason Master Shinwa gave for eating 1 meal a day is that when I eat 1 meal a day, then there's more food available for everyone else to eat. He was speaking about the less strain or burden on the food supply, our food supplies. So it's not necessarily regarding hungry ghosts at all. And so no, it doesn't affect it that much, but does it put a strain on the food supplies? A little bit, I guess. Most of us, even left home people, we still eat 3 meals a day. So to me, that practice of eating 1 meal a day is basically an ascetic practice that is conducive for a certain type of spiritual practice. It's not for everyone. For example, in our temple, I encourage my monks and nuns to eat breakfast, because they work so hard. They get up at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and they work throughout the day, and they don't go to bed until very late at night. And it's very dangerous. You can get sick if you don't get enough nutrition. They have a lot of outflows, especially when they do physical work. So I even allow them to eat breakfast, even dinner, if they're hungry. Okay. In terms of spiritual practice, there are many ways to practice. The reason Master Hsuan, my Chinese teacher, taught us because for very good reasons, because when he first brought the Dharma to this country, United States, there were a lot of Caucasians, pupils, and they're high in desires, and therefore, when you cut down on the eating, then it reduces their desires, okay, and And furthermore, he was trying to establish the foundation for Mahayana to build upon. And I used it. I took advantage of it, and I ate one meal a day and practiced eating one meal a day. It really helps your spiritual practice tremendously. But it's only conducive to the people who really have nothing to do, who meditate all day and live in an environment where there's very little outflows. But it's not for people in our trainees, our people, in our environment. Our practice is not that focused on eating one meal a day. It's more on the sudden teaching training. So each environment is different, the times are different. He sets the standards and work well for his disciples in my generation. And I feel that it's not appropriate for your generation to eat one meal a day right now. But in the future, I hope that we'll have a chance to build a center for Pure Land, center for Chan and so forth, up in the mountains, up in the remote areas when we have a lot more land, we have a lot more space, and our people can then concentrate on meditation. And I will train them to teach them certain meditation practices where it's more suitable for the remote areas, like my master's temples. If you go to his main temple, the city of 10,000 Buddhas, that's 2 hours away from here, it's appropriate to have one meal a day kind of practice. Okay, but for the temples that are in the cities like ours, it's and where we do a lot of work, physical work, constructions and remodeling and so forth, and so gardening and so forth. So we don't necessarily I don't find it suitable for us to eat one meal a day at all. And it seems to work for our environment, our temples, because our disciples, I compensate for it by teaching them all the skills and do certain teaching, for example, that they don't have at those remote places. But in the future, I will, when we have enough manpower, we have enough support, I will do those remote places, cultivation centers where we have people who can focus on practicing Pure Land alone, okay, or Chan alone, or I even allow them to go into retreats where they isolate themselves for years, for months, for years, okay, and so that they can become enlightened and they can work on their spiritual powers, okay, so that we can engage more and further and so forth. So there will be time for that. There will be requirements for that when we do it, then those people who should be doing one meal a day. Because here in our temples, in the big cities, I'm here, so I compensate for the fact they're not eating one meal a day. Okay? So in short, lay people, I don't advise you to eat one meal a day. Okay, be careful. It's not that important to eat one meal a day as a lay person. What you do, what's the alternative, to me is better that you follow what we've been teaching, what we've been preaching the last 16, 17 years. Meditate an hour a day to maintain your current samadhi, and maintain your health, both physical and mental. That's important. So 1 hour a day is you want to commit to that. And number two, you listen to the Dharma a lot. Okay, what we teach you, it's available freely on the internet, on YouTube, and what have you. And why is it important? Because that's where you're learning about a certain teaching. Okay, so the more you listen, the faster you progress. You take number one, you meditate 1 hour a day. Number two, you listen to the Dharma constantly. And that has to work for a lot of people. Okay? If you do that, then really eating 1 meal a day is not that important. Eating 1 meal a day is, to me, another disadvantage is that I remember when I was at my master's temples, you are constantly trying to conserve energy, okay? And so that you don't smile, you don't connect to people, so you try to put a wall between you and others. I don't like it. That's not why we're here in the cities. In the cities, we're here so that we can connect to people and build relationships and create conditions with people, not keep them away from us. Okay, so I remember, walking around at my master's temple, and the face is like stern, and we are cultivators, you are not, and that kind of thing. I never liked it. Okay. But I didn't know any better. Yes, 3. Wei Mount has a question. Can I hear you?
Hello, Master.
Hello.
I have a general question. Could you talk about sudden teaching? What is it exactly?
Sudden teaching, to put it simply, is it's the teaching that a good no advisor gives you directly. So we've been, for example, studying the 6th Patriarch Sutra, and the entire sutra is about sudden teaching. Except for the part where Fa-hai, the transcriber, the one who recorded the sutra, was describing things. But everything the 6th Patriarch said or did was sudden teaching. Okay, so it's directed at the specific students that his disciples that that's a sudden teaching. And so it is a personal instruction, you will, from the teacher to the pupil, and it's about the kinds of students that the teacher has and the timing. So sudden teaching is a personal type of teaching that's conferred upon in person. I hope it helps. Meaning that implies that the teacher has to decide that the time is ripe for the teaching to be conferred upon you. Yes, go ahead. 3.
The YouTube question from Snow Wu. Hello, Master. For the Chan Meditation Center or Pure Land Center, do you already have a plan? What do we need to do to make it happen?
It happens when it happens. I'm grateful for you to ask, but fundamentally, I'm very lazy. I do it because I must, not because I want to. And I've been doing all these things because no one else is doing it. That's all. I was hoping that the second patriarch, who's a real monk there, not me, would step up and do more, because time is running out for him, time is running out for me, and it takes, for example, on the average 10 years that we need to invest in each disciple, okay, in order to help you make it. On the average, it takes about 10 years, okay. Now it's a lot shorter, but still, we need time. And now it's shorter because we focus more on we're a lot more focused on a certain teaching. If you were to use Master YongHua's training methodology, it takes about 10 years. So that's why I look at at them, I say, it takes you about 10 years to help pass your knowledge to someone. And it's still not enough. 10 years is a starting point, and then after that, you still need to invest. And that kind of investment there is what I'm referring to. You get build a center where you allow them to focus on their spiritual practices only, and so that they develop the wisdom and their spiritual power so that they can do more. Okay? And so that's why I look at the process and I realize that I can't wait anymore. I can't wait. I can't defer to those people anymore because time is running out for all of us. And so that's why I'm doing this. So I prefer not to do it. So for example, this temple happened because we got help to make it happen. And same thing here in Northern California. We're up here because we've been asked to come up here, and we've been providing support to come up here to make it happen. We started in Gold Forest, and we decided to buy a dump that no one wanted, and we bought it, and we turned it into a small temple, and the Northern California residents here came to support the I know the young abbot here. He was with them. He's with them cleaning up the place. They had to wear masks before. This is way before COVID happened, and because it's so dusty, so dirty, and so forth. And now you go to Gold Forest. It's a very pleasant-looking temple. So the people start coming, and then they like it, and they wanted to share it with more people. So my personal objective is to invest in you, so that I pass on my knowledge to pay back my teacher's kindness, to show my gratitude for what is given to me. By investing in you, like they invested in me, unconditionally. And so I'm trying to repay their kindness, not because I want to become famous or have a lot of temples, a lot of disciples. I have no interest at all in those things. So, however, it's necessary. I see it as necessary for your generation. Your generation, I hope, that you will surpass my teacher's disciples. You have already. I want more and more of you to surpass them, so that Mahayana Buddhism becomes stronger, so that more and more people can benefit from you. It's not about us. It's about when you improve and you are able to become happier and more competent at work, happier at home, healthier so that you live a healthy and long life, and then society as a whole benefits. I came from the secular world where I feel strongly about the fact, because I am an immigrant, I feel the fact, I believe in earning my place here in society, and not just earning a place, but also contributing so that your children, my nieces, my nephews, will have a better world, better place to live. That, to me, I feel very strongly about it. So I do what I can. So that's why, in terms of our spiritual work, I know there's still a lot of work left. For example, if I were to have a place like my master's temple, like a big place up north that he has, I would be running it differently. I will be training people differently, because they have an opportunity to really improve both in samadhi level as well as in spiritual powers. You go higher samadhi level so that you have more wisdom. You have more wisdom, meaning you can solve the bigger problems of the world. Okay? And then, so the height allows you to take on much more challenging problems, okay, which require true wisdom for you to solve those problems, because worldly people can't. Only with wisdom can you solve these types of problems. That's how you can really benefit the world, okay? And then, spiritually, you need to be able to do more. You need more muscles in order to carry a heavier load, and that's spiritual powers. That's why these places that I have in mind, similar to my master's, remote places and centers of cultivation, will have both. Need to develop both. Samadhi power, which is lacking. My master really never really have the system develop them that way, okay? What he has is this, which is very limited. And so to me, that's why I see a need for that. I've established now these places where, in the cities, where we can benefit people. We can benefit all sorts of people, okay, at all levels, different ethnicities, different cultures, different ages. The Dharma is able to serve all of you. And we're here in the city so that it's accessible to more and more people. Okay? And in the future, when I have more manpower, and I will decide to pick and choose people that I will invest and put them in these remote places. For example, Pure Land Center, where people can come and live, okay, and prepare to go to the Pure Land. Or a Chan Center, where they practice Chan, where the only objective is to become enlightened and get to a very high level of enlightenment, and then develop spiritual power so they can reach out to very far away. That's what Buddhism is about. It's not what Master YongHua accomplished so far. It's a tiny portion what Mahayana is supposed to do. That's my vision. That's why for that to happen, I need more manpower, and of course there's a lot more support I would need. One of my rules I have is that I do not want to owe money, because it's detrimental for a monk to owe money, because then the pressure of making monthly payments, mortgages, and so forth is so high that it corrupts us. I look at you now like how much money I can get out of you, and that corrupts my mind. Okay, and so that's why the the thing is that I know in the future, people will believe in our vision and will step up. And instead of investing in a school or a university, they can give us on the spiritual side for the sake of humanity. Charity is for the weak. Spiritual is for, there's some people who will say, I have done. There are a lot of people who understand the importance of doing charity work. Well, not enough people who understand the importance of investing in advancing humankind, producing the better minds for the world. There will a lot of people who step up and want to do that. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Yes, good morning, Master. I have a question in regard to, I think, our previous Sixth Patriarch lecture. Can you tell us what the definition of a state is again?
Right. A state is short for a state of mind. That's all. Whatever your mind experiences, for example, you meditate and all of a sudden your body's itchy. It's a state because the mind feels itchy. It's not the body, it's the mind that we focus on. Or you sit there, all of a sudden you say, I'm hungry. The mind is hungry. Okay? So a state refers to the fact that it's something that bothers your mind, something that preoccupies your mind. So when you meditate, often people meditate, they feel more peaceful, more blissful. That's a state of mind. Or if you happen to be those who decide to take on the challenge we asked you to do by sitting in full lotus, then you experience extreme or severe discomfort. It's a state of mind as well. Okay? So when you experience, you feel good, it's a pleasant state of mind that many people are attached to, which is undesirable. When you're attached to pleasant feelings, you're stuck. Okay? Or if you're attached to aversion to pain and discomfort, you're stuck as well. So state of minds are the state of your mind that will be detrimental to your practice if you're not careful. Okay? So state of mind is basically where your mind is preoccupied with, and as from a spiritual practice, it helps us learn how to overcome it. If we learn how to overcome it, then you will make progress faster. Go ahead, Wei Mountain.
Master, good morning. I have a question. I think maybe a week or two ago, I experienced a state. I was sitting like for an hour. I experienced something, I don't know, new. And then the next day, I had somehow had that same experience without like throughout like almost the whole day. Do you know what that was?
No.
Thank you.
Sorry, you're too vague. You have to learn to be specific. You experience a state, okay? A state could be anything. Okay, next. 3.
YouTube comment from Diego Alfonso. Emitofuo Master, if I look back to myself 3 or 4 years before, I've improved so much thanks to the lectures and the help of Master and all the Sangha. I strongly recommend people to listen to the lectures, as the results will show in how we behave in our daily life. I'm so thankful with Master and the Sangha. Emitofuo Master.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. In fact, there is a third step besides listening to the Dharma. Okay, the sudden teaching also means that when you hear the instructions, what do you do with it? When you hear instruction, when you hear the Dharma, what are you supposed to do? Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. When we hear the instruction, just execute. Try our best. If I cannot do it the first time, I try it the second time. I try it 100 times until I'm able to execute it.
Okay. Anyone else? No one knows? You've been doing it all these years. That is why you got this far. And you still don't know what you did, right? Yes, 3. It's like you got lucky. Vietnamese call cho ngáp phải rồi. You know, it means that the dog yawns, and then it closes its mouth and it catches a fly. That's it. You got lucky, that's all. Yes, 3.
Dang Yuan comments on YouTube. Investigate, meditate, and investigate it.
That's Chinese. Forget Chinese. Anyone else? Do we look Chinese to you? No, we don't. You're sort of American. Although there's only 2 pale-faced people here today. Proud pale-face. He's wrong. Peter said Denver in 4. Yeah? What's missing? What are we different from a Chinese, the Asian? Yes?
Thank you, Master. When I listen to the Dharma and it clicks for me, I make a Dharma glimpse.
Very good. All right, what else? This is where the Chinese, they don't stress enough this. And that's why when they no longer have a good no advisor, they don't know why it happened. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. In my experience, when I listen to Master Dharma talk on YouTube, I just recognize my first thinking and I'm just tears. I say to in my mind, thank you, Master.
Okay. Unfortunately, the Koreans don't have it either. Okay. Don't have the Dharma. Yes, 3.
Diego Alfonso on YouTube comments or answers, you integrate it to your daily life.
Who said that?
Diego Alfonso.
Diego Alfonso. Okay. Here's what happens. When you hear the Dharma, the one thing that people don't pay enough attention to, especially the Chinese who listen to Master Hsuan-Hua's Dharma, for example, they listen to it and they don't realize what he did for them was to tell them what not to do. We keep on making mistakes that prevent us from making progress. We're stopping ourselves. And so what happened is that number 3, number 1, you meditate every day. To meditate every day for an hour or so, whether it's in full lotus, half lotus, no lotus, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Whatever you are able to do, you do 1 hour a day for maintenance, which you don't realize. Most people don't realize requires a lot of blessings. It's not easy. If you're able to do 1 hour, and if you improve, for you to do 1 hour a day, next level requires much more blessings than before. At this level here, you're able to do 1 hour. Next level, for you to do 1 hour, it requires more blessings. 1 more hour, 1 more level, 1 hour, even more blessings. And more blessings, more blessings. So the rule of thumb, you can do 1 hour, that you have enough. You don't have, if you cannot do 1 hour anymore, that means your blessings are running scarce. See that? That's what people don't realize. It's very dynamic. You don't assume that I can do 1 hour also, and how come I can't do it anymore? You can't do it anymore because an hour at a high level requires more blessings, not fewer. If you have more blessing, you create more blessings, then you can improve. But you at this level, for you to improve, to do 1 hour, you need to have the initial capital. You understand? It's like in business. You need to invest first before you can make money. You need to have the capital, the blessings first before you can create more blessings. And this is what the Chinese don't stress enough for you. This is why people give up, because they don't understand. They say, how come I used to sit for 10 hours and then now I can barely do half? It's because 10 hours low level is okay, but half an hour at a high level is even more blessings than before. Is it clear? So the first thing I told you, we asked you to do, sit 1 hour a day, is for checking. Check yourself. If you can sit an hour a day, you're okay. You cannot sit an hour whether your dad calls and say, hey, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? I heard you follow this cult here who has no temple. The temple has no statues, and they give you things of way. I think there's a trick, right? There must be a trick. Every single temple charges you for everything. We give it to you for free. There must be a trick, right? Are you that stupid? You believe in freebies, in free lunches? Okay. Anyway, so you get impediment, you get stopped, you get obstruction because you don't have enough blessings to work at that current level. Is that clear? It's very simple. That you double check every single day and say, okay, I can do 1 hour, I'm fine. But when I can't do it anymore, I need more blessings. Get it moving. Okay? And so the next thing is you listen to the Dharma. The Dharma is your personal instructions. You listen to Master Shenhua's Dharma, for example, he's talking to you. He says, do this, do that. Okay? And that's very important. That's a certain teaching. Especially my Dharma talks are more geared to a certain teaching. Why? Because of you. Master Shenhua never felt, it's not that I know more about him, more than him. No, he knows more than I do, in general. But he only taught the Dharma in response to the needs of his students. It's just like when you're feeding children, we're investing in you, you're investing in your children. You know you love your children so dearly, and you want him to have lobsters and Wagyu beef and so forth. Would you give that to him? He's too young to appreciate it, to be able to digest it. Okay? So that's why, same thing with Master Shenhua. He could not feed them, my generation, the people who stayed at his temples, the certain teaching Dharma, because they would not be able to digest it. And if you listen and you're not able to digest it, they will lose interest. They say, this is not for me. How come Master teaches me things that really don't apply to me at all? It's useless to me. So that's why the certain teachings is from my era is different because it has to be geared toward you, who are much higher level than his disciples. Okay? And number three, when you listen to it, you're right. You ask yourself, can I do it? Okay? What if I cannot do it? What's stopping me? This is what the Chinese instruction, especially Master Shenhua, is not clear. See, in America, in our times, we need to be clearer. If the instructions are for me, when listener, I say, oh, I'm supposed to do this, then the real question is, why can't I? What's stopping me? What am I doing wrong that I can't execute? When you reflect, why do I give up? Why do I quit? Why do I refuse to do this? Okay? Because you'll find out, in order for you, step number 3 is the step that helps you improve. In order for you to improve, what do you need to do? You need to make sacrifices. The more sacrifices, the quicker you improve. This is what the Chinese don't explain to you. Okay? And I'm running out of time. That's why I tell you more and more specifically what to do. We need to invest in you. We need to have more of you out there. That's my ambition. If there's any ambition at all, I want more of you out there in society. And more of you to go back to our colony in the Pure Land. Okay? I want all of you to go to the Pure Land and proudly tell yourselves, yeah, we are BLI nation. Okay? Yes, 7.
Hi, Master. On sudden teaching, does this only apply if we listen to the Dharma live or in person, or does this also apply to listening to past lectures?
It applies to you listening to the people who have the skill to teach the certain Dharma. Okay? For example, I'll be blunt with you, and when I do this, I really offend a lot of people. I do it because I choose to. It's for your sake. For example, Xian Fa is from Korea. She's right there. I knew her like 5-6 years ago. I was a lay person. He was shaking crazy like this. And then I help her so that she would not give up her spiritual practice. She wanted so badly to practice, and she was having these seizure kind of thing that terrified everyone. Her teacher said, "You stop! You cannot do this anymore. It frightens my students away, my clients away." So I said, "Okay, if she can't stop, I will help her. Okay, stop." So we started back then, and I didn't say anything. I just helped her, and she stopped shaking, stopped doing crazy things until for a while, and then it starts up again. Okay, it started up again. So anyway, we went way back. Okay, and about a year ago, she came to me, and she finally became a fully ordained nun. Okay, So she came to me and said, I always wanted to join you, to receive training from you. I said, okay. So how much more time do you have? She says, I have another year. I said, how old are you? How old are you, by the way? He said something. I said, that old?
38, Master.
Huh?
38.
48?
38.
68?
38, Master.
28?
38.
Thank you. So I said, you won't be done in your training program for another year. So you lose one more year of your life. But I tell you what, that training program is very good. It brings you to this point here for the next year or so. I don't think it's very efficient for you. So if you want to, I allow you to come and join me so that you gain 1 year. Okay? You save 1 year of your life to practice the way you want. So she came. When I did that, you don't know the Koreans. I offended so many of them, especially the monks and nuns, who says, how dare you? How dare you steal our nuns away from our trainees from us? And how can you be so ungrateful? We helped you to come here, and we put up with you, and what you're doing is you causing problems with our training programs. Okay, so I knew it full well that when I did that, I will offend a lot of them. I lost a lot of friends, especially her master gave me hell. Okay. And so forth, bugged me to death, okay? And anyway, so I was willing to pay the price. And the point here is that when she came, she joined us, people were laughing at her. My other monks and nuns and say, you're so low. After all these years, you're so low. You got some training, but you're so low. And we have no training, but And so she used to feel bad. And what did she do? She practiced every day. She worked every day. She listened to Dharma every day. Okay? And now, all of a sudden, she's at the same level. In 1 year's time, she caught up with the other students, the other monks and nuns in Korea, and lay people in Korea. You see? So we have to be willing to invest in you, and there's a price there's to pay. Okay? It's for you. It's not about me at all. Okay? So that's why it's in the same way. And the Master YongHua, he invests in his disciples, my generation, differently. And I'm finding myself that because of you, I have to step it up, not because I'm better than my master at all. I'm better than training, because I learned training from the sixth patriarch, not from him. The sixth patriarch taught me. And I said, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? But my master is far better. That's all. Way Mountain.
Master, you said being able to sit for an hour. At the beginning, when I came to your temple, for the first 3 years, I think I was able to sit for at least an hour and do chanting, recitation, whatever. Now it get to a point recently, for the last few weeks, I don't think I was able to sit, and there are days I didn't sit. I couldn't do any recitation, couldn't read any sutra. Does that mean I'm getting worse right now?
It probably means you get married. Marry your boyfriend if you want to be happy. Try that for a change to see what happens. He has 3. 3.
Ju Hong has a question. She's asking, is the sacrifices mean taking losses?
No, it's making gains. You sacrifice your children. Sacrifice your husband. So you're gaining. That's how stupid we are. Okay? You let go. And you make sacrifices, meaning you take losses. Yes, Way Mountain.
Hi, Master. I just want to mention something, a situation a year or two ago when you told me to stop doing something. And I'm glad I listened to you, because once I dropped it, I think I helped myself. I was able to get something out of my way. So I want to thank you, Master. Emitofuo.
You're welcome. Anyone else? And finally, the certain teaching is that when I tell you to do something, try your best to do it. If you can't, that means you don't have enough blessings. Plant more blessings. Don't ever assume that you have enough blessings. And that's how you check yourself. I tell you to stop it, and you still don't listen. You don't have enough blessings. It's that simple. Okay? Okay, we stop here today. Thank you.